They said the song is literally about nothing. Y'all just like it because it's catchy. Um, you're right. I mean, nobody asked for that.
Cut that shit out.
Hey guys, it's your girl Cameron, and I'm back at it again with another video. And today, drum roll, can I get a drum roll, please? We are going to be reacting to some of your guys' craziest unpopular music opinions. Last week on my community tab, I asked, what are some of the most unpopular opinions that you guys have? Music edition. I was trying to see some. And when I tell you guys, the response was overwhelming. I had about 800 comments underneath that post. And so today I want to unpack some of your very valid, but some of your crazy ass takes. So I want you to kick back, grab a snack, stay tuned because your opinion may be in this video. We're gonna do a game style. I have my wheel here that's gonna select our categories. We have a random category, a music subject matter and quality category, a pop music category, an R&B category, etc. So we're gonna kind of go through what we can today. Some of these opinions that you guys left in that comment section, I did not choose to do them, maybe because I did do a video kind of going in depth on some of that stuff already. So I will add those to the screen right now so you can go check those out after this video. Hit that subscribe button down below if you'd like to see more commentary content just like this video. Also, I want you guys to be on the lookout. I am setting up a Patreon. And there'll be more information on what that Patreon entails, but I'm excited. We're going to go into a deeper dive of music and projects. And without further ado, let's just get straight into the unpopular opinions. Disclaimer, guys, these are opinions. If you don't agree with someone or one of the opinions of the video, it's okay. It's okay. We're all going to have a great attitude. We're all going to have fun.
It's going to be good, and we're all going to have fun.
And we're going to keep it cute. All right, let's see what category is first. All right, category is pop music. That's our first on the docket. And this one's kind of crazy. Olivia Rodrigo is to pop what Ice Spice is to rap. Uninspired lyrics, all songs sound the same / have the same themes, and only blew up because they got big online. Blatant industry plan. So we'll start here. I was kind of floored with how big Driver's License did get. Okay, I had never heard of Olivia Rodrigo a day in my life, and then her song like shoots to #1. And I think a part of that is because I'm an adult. And when she was on the High School Musical reboot, whatever the hell that was, I was not there. So I was kind of confused with the hype. However, she's not the pop equivalent to Ice Spice. There's no way. Olivia is talented. I think she has a nice voice. She's dedicated to her craft. Lyrically, she tells some interesting stories. Yes. Have some of her topics become a bit redundant? Sure. Has sonically some of them kind of sound the same? A little bit. But I think that there's a lane and a market for her, and I do think that she has a talent. Her work is more dynamic than someone like Ice Spice. Well, she's a memeable rapper. She talks about poop. That's kind of like a false, low-key disrespectful comparison. In our pop category, another opinion. Someone said that Ariana's new album is boring and forgettable. I've been seeing mixed opinions. I've been seeing some people say this is her best, and I had some people like this who were saying this was not good. It was boring. I personally feel that the album was refreshing. It to me felt like a breath of fresh air, from the production to the subject matter. And honestly, if the album was a fragrance, you know, Ariana likes to make fragrances for every damn album, I feel like it would be like putting sunshine in a bottle. Now that I think about it, I'm like, what would Eternal Sunshine smell like? As someone who thinks of fragrance often, I'm always looking for something that feels like me. And I love that fragrance I wear can say a lot about my personality, my style, and my overall vibe without me having to say a word. I'm always eager to level up and expand my fragrance collection. So that brings me to today's sponsor, Scentbird, fulfilling all of my fragrance needs. So let's talk about what Scentbird sent me this month. As a girl who likes a good night out on the town, I like to wear scents that pack punch, vibrant, lively, and a bit heavier to carry me through the night. So this month, I decided to try Ari by Ariana Grande. With notes like crispy pear, pink grapefruit, juicy raspberry, rosebuds, and vanilla orchid. And it fits that girls' night out essence to a T. Scentbird also sent me Milk by Commodity. When I'm having a chill day, I love a warm and cozy scent. This is that for me. With notes like cold milk accord, musk, warm marshmallow, woods, and tonka bean, this fragrance just feels like a warm hug on a cold day. And I was also sent Amber Vanilla by The Seven Virtues, which I love personally because my favorite fragrance note is vanilla, and that note really pulls through with this fragrance here. And my wildcard fragrance that is really different from anything that I've ever had is fragrance number 3 by Dead Cool. With notes of juniper berries, pomelo, saffron, black violet, and blonde woods, it's a bit more of a floral scent. I do love the fact that I can be daring with Scentbird because I can order a new designer fragrance every month for only $16.95. Scentbird hosts over 700 perfumes and colognes, as well as unisex options. With each fragrance, you will get a 30-day supply. This way you can try out fragrances before committing to a full-size bottle. Because if you've ever tried to buy a full-size bottle of perfume, we're talking anywhere from $300 to $500. And that's a huge commitment for a fragrance you don't know if you love yet. With Scentbird, all I do is slip my perfume in my bag, and the size makes it so easy for me to bring on the go. And one of my favorite parts is that if you don't know where to start, the Scentbird website has a quiz that you can take, and it helps you identify your fragrance taste. They will recommend fragrances based off of your personal preferences and give you some selections to choose from. So scan the QR code or use Cameron55 to get 55% off your first month at Scentbird. Again, my code is Cameron55. I would like to thank Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. And just like that, we're going to dive right back into your unpopular opinions. Still in the pop category, we have one about Justin Bieber. Someone said, quote, Journals is Justin Bieber's best album and it went completely under the radar. And I 110% agree with this. Justice for Journals. Hashtag Justice for Journals is his best album. I think artistically, sonically, maybe I'm biased. I like when he does R&B personally, minus the R. Kelly feature. That was a major oversight. That's actually disgusting. But it's damn near a flawless project. Like with the weekly song drop too, the rollout was genius. I also think that the reason why Journals was not well received was Justin Bieber was kind of set up as this like pop prince. So his general audience, it was into the pop sound and he was experimenting with something different. And it also came at a time where he generally was not liked by the public. Like some fans stopped listening to him because my guy was getting arrested every other day and always in the tabloids from some bullshit. Some of the best projects come from experimenting with a different sound, from taking that risk. Your day ones may not like it, but I'm telling you, like, the streets know about that album and they love it. Like, Swap It Out is one of his best songs. I think that's top 5 Justin Bieber song in his discography, point blank, period. Someone said that Bruno Mars needs more love. Every time there's a discussion for who is the best artist, I don't usually see people mentioning him, and I am a culprit of this. And it's not because he's not talented, but I do think identity-wise, people associate Bruno with an old school-esque essence, right? He feels like an artist that is reminiscent of another previous artist, which I think makes him stand out a little bit less for who he is, but he's more associated with a sound. So I don't know if it doesn't feel fresh. I don't know what it is. I maybe it's that throwbacky idea that makes people associate him more with like a sonic theme than Bruno Mars as an artist himself. Maybe he needs to occasionally throw in something that's a little newer sounding or experimental. Someone said, quote, we don't have legends. I don't see any artists currently out having longevity. We will look back at most of them in a decade from now and view them as someone who was hot at the moment. Examples like Tate McRae, Jack Harlow, Pink Panthers, Ice Spice, they all lack the it factor and are still chasing trends / nostalgia rather than being innovative. And you know what? You did eat with that last sentence because every single one of them is trying to reference an earlier time period. But I do think there's something about like Pink Panthers that does feel a bit futuristic, which I appreciate. I don't know, guys. Tate be giving a little bit to me. She gives. However, I would agree that the idea of a legend is more far-fetched now, especially when there are millions more artists visible than ever before. The industry is not as gatekept as it once was. But I do feel like the people we consider legends, we're evaluating that past their prime. right? As someone who was born after Michael Jackson's prime, or after Prince's prime, right? Or after Whitney's prime, it was already established that they were legends, so all of their work was laid out, their accolades collected, and impact was evaluated, making it easier to identify legends after the fact, which I think that's how it should be. The legend title is thrown around way too easily. That's more of the problem here, but I would just say I generally agree with this statement. And the last for our pop category today is someone said Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter is a nothing song. They said the song is literally about nothing. Y'all just like it because it's catchy. Thank you very much. You're right. I mean, I love the song though. But she really is vibes. But that's the thing that I like about it, because again, in a video that I spoke on pop becoming sad, pop used to kind of just be about clever lyrics, cute, fun, not saying a whole lot, wanting to make you dance. And I think that's why this espresso song is so contagious. Even like the I'm working late because I'm a singer. It doesn't make sense, but it makes complete sense. You see what I'm saying? All right, so we're gonna go to our next category. Let's see what the wheel says. Category is random. There were a couple that I didn't know where to quite put them, but we're gonna take it on. We need to end the streaming services and bring back radio and video channels. I wanted the radio era to end, but I might have spoken too soon. I just hate the sound quality of the radio. Like, music just don't be sounding right. At work, for example, like we play the radio in the office and it's just like too many ads. And it kind of ruins the listening experience, like immersing yourself into a piece of music. And we got terrible DJs mixing songs that should not be mixed. DJs singing over songs. Like there's one station where this DJ will sing over the damn song. Nobody asked for that.
Cut that shit out.
Like, the radio is the Wild Wild West. Like, I just feel like it's not even really about the music like that. But I do agree, though, with bringing back video channels. Like, I want my 106 in Park, the VH1, MTV. I do miss that. I do miss music videos being an event. But someone said that K-pop is the most uninspired genre in the world. The lyrics are ass, the dancing is cute for a little TikTok moment, but as a genre, no. It's like musical Disney Channel PG-12 content. They should be only nominated at the Kids' Choice Awards or Nickelodeon, not the Grammys. There's this weird like attitude towards music that is not westernized. So I'm here for a push of other industries being put to the forefront, because other music artists exist than just Western artists, specifically American artists. What I will say is I do agree to a certain extent that I do think K-pop is an uninspired music genre. And the reason why I say this, why does it seem like a lot of K-pop is like regurgitating whatever's like the trend? Whether it's like cosplaying, hip hop, rap aesthetic, that's very weird to me. A lot of K-pop groups like doing like the Afrobeats thing. Somebody said we need to close the portal from Korea to Africa. I was like, what? It's like Tinashe comes out with something. Okay, the K-pop girlies are trying to do that. Pink Panthers comes out with something. The K-pop groups are trying to mimic that. Tyla comes out with something. You got K-pop groups doing like a knockoff. Not all, but I do notice that it seems like K-pop particularly does that often. But I digress. Next, let's spin the wheel. Can I get a drum roll, please? The category is overrated. So, a user said, Rihanna can't sing, she's just popular because of her aesthetics and personality, which is why she chose to stick to beauty and fashion. I don't know if she was ever that passionate about being an artist. My thoughts. I do agree with this to a degree. I do. I think that Rihanna is singing-wise, skill-wise, very average, not great. Live performances, not like vocally, not great. She's not even that much of a dancer either, but I agree. Her aesthetic, the way that she was marketed, she came at a time where they needed a pop star to kind of fit her lane, right? We have this island girl. She's young, she's youthful, And her vocal tone is extremely unique. Rihanna was perfect to market because no one sounded like Rihanna. No one looked like Rihanna. And I think her aesthetics absolutely shaped her. But I give Rihanna credit. I do. So I don't really like when people are like, why is she like who she is? Why is she so big? She's not talented. I do agree though that like people kind of gas her up in the vocal category and she's not there. And to be honest with you, I'm not a fiend for like a new Rihanna album. I'm not one of those people. Like, I think she's done some great work while she was making music. If she doesn't make another damn album in her life, I'm not losing sleep at night.
This is probably the longest I've ever taken to create something. No, I lied. That's R9.
That's okay. You can keep it.
Someone said that I'm tired of people only calling white or white passing girlies pop stars while ignoring the many black and brown girlies who deserve the title. We call certain artists main pop girls even if they don't make standard pop music, for instance Olivia and Billie Eilish, but ignore other black and brown artists who have qualities of pop stars because they make R&B or other genre that is not considered pop. If someone like Olivia who makes punk rock music can be a main pop girly, then so can someone like Tyla or Arya Starr can too. I'm giving you your 10s across the board. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In my Pop is Dead video, I had mentioned some black artists that I considered pop or could be considered pop. I said SZA, I said Chloe, I said Tinashe, I said Normani, and I got a lot of comments of people being like, they're not pop. Normani's not pop. SZA's not pop. In what world? And I was like, in what world can't they be considered pop? Yeah, they do other genres, like this person said, R&B. If Avril Lavigne can mix her like pop punk into to pop, why can't other black artists be afforded that same luxury? Let's be consistent then. If we're gonna like include some people and not include others. I don't know. Next, someone said that The Weeknd is mid to bad. What I will say about The Weeknd is I do think I don't want to say the word overrated. I don't want to discredit him. One thing that The Weeknd has on lock that has served him when he locked in on his image and artistically creating something that was a world. He paid so close attention, I think, to his rollouts and the stories being told. And he's intentional, which I think is refreshing in a day and age where it's a free for all. I don't think he's bad. I think mid is a stretch for sure, but I do understand why people don't gravitate to his music. You know, this can't be an unpopular opinions video without mentioning friggin' Michael Jackson. Someone said Michael Jackson had an average voice compared to other singers at the time. Still had a great voice, but not the best male vocalist. I think this is a fair assessment. There's this notion that Michael is like the best or was the best at absolutely every aspect of music. MJ's appeal, in my opinion, wasn't ever really like his voice first, except for maybe when he was a kid, right? He was like this vocal anomaly as a child. I still think that he had a great voice throughout his career, but his innate music making ability, his ear, being so involved in the music making process, revolutionizing music, blending genres, there was something very unique about his vocal tone. But I agree. I don't think he was the strongest vocalist out of his contemporaries at the time. He can make some damn music though. And he did have a great voice. Don't get it twisted. All right, let's see what the next category is going to be for our unpopular opinions. Let's go. R&B. One user said that new R&B is better than old R&B and people are just blinded by nostalgia. It is in people's nature to idealize the past, right? Music, movies, media. But I do believe that older R&B did truly embody and put the rhythm and blues in rhythm and blues. From the subject matter to the soulfulness to the lyricism and the passion, I do think that the quality was definitely higher. The talent threshold was higher. You know, I don't think people are making that up. I don't. They're not. There is something different. But I'm also somebody who I thoroughly enjoy some newer R&B artists. I think R&B is a bit more mellow and mute, but it's soothing, right? And it can feel even kind of healing. So I do like new R&B, but I don't think it's better than older R&B. I think that is a very bold statement to make. That's brave. Next, somebody said that Cowboy Carter, despite having some amazing songs, was not a cohesive record and probably my least favorite Beyonce album. Someone also chiming in and saying that I think Cowboy Carter is awful. I do actually think thematically and sonically it is a pretty cohesive album. I do. I think that the issue for a lot of people was it did stray from a sound that Beyonce, that we know and love for her. I'm not gonna lie. This album, like when it first came out, I listened to it in my Beats headphones. I was high off of it. But the replay value became less and less for me. I can't pinpoint exactly why. Maybe I felt like I needed to be in a mood to listen to it. But what I will say is that the album was powerful from a message standpoint. I mean, speaking to other Black Americans, this messaging in the album was quite profound. The reclamation, the storytelling, and the acceptance, like this Black joy being exuded through this project. Again, that's not to say that you can't not like the music. I don't think that's an excuse. But I do think that there's something deeper there. What I don't like about this Cowboy Carter album and rollout is that she's not promoting the damn album. Like, she dropped it and left. And I just feel like it's kind of lazy for a project that has so many layers. Just with the statement she was trying to make, and for an album where she crossed genres, I kind of was wanting more for this rollout and for her to be a bit more visible and vocal. Where are the visuals? We want the visuals. There's no visuals. Someone said most mainstream R&B music is kind of boring. It's always a song about love, heartbreak, cheating, sex, with the same rhythms, tempos, and melodies. Now, inherently, I do think R&B at its heart, core, fabric, a lot of it has always been about blues. What do we think of when we hear that word? Sadness. What is usually equated with sadness? Relationships, heartbreak. From the sex standpoint, some of the lyrics are so vulgar. That's what bothers me. It's not even about the subject matter per se, but it's like, what happened to a metaphor? What happened to making something sound like something else? Which is why I really like Victoria Monet, because I think she's very clever with her wordplay. Landed like a plane on my back if you can't hold it. But like, I be in the car sometimes listening to like daily Spotify lists, like just random R&B playlists, and what comes on is like insane. Like, such explicit sex details, very transactional lyrics, less passionate, very standoffish. To me, it does lack a sense of passion, and from that standpoint, I don't love it. I think the lyricism can be better. Plus, every like male R&B artist just sounds like Brent Faiyaz. Like, it's just really annoying. Like, the toxic, like nonchalant R&B male. Like, I'm tired. Someone said that singing the N-word in R&B is so dystopian. But I think a part of it is because that word was never like widely used in R&B. A lot of R&B artists did not use that word. Like, older Black folks were not gonna let that fly. So I think that's why it feels weird. I personally don't love when it's like dropped too much. It just like, again, it's a little too tough for me. Sometimes with R&B, like, let's just chill out a bit, and it's just a bit abrasive. I kind of agree with that. Let's see, last but not least, spin the wheel. Let's see what we get. And our last one left is music subject matter / quality. We talk about this a lot on my channel. So someone said, I don't think music is getting worse. I just think streaming makes it seem that way. It creates an echo chamber to constantly recommend the most aggressively average music and encourages sameness within genres. And I agree with this, because with the amount of people that have access to being musicians, uploading music, the industry's not as gatekept. Statistically speaking, there has to be more variety. Like, it legit has to be. But again, these platforms, and I don't know, they say it's not payola. They say that these platforms don't do that and people don't pay for streams. But I don't know if it's because a lot of these like mainstream artists have connections and are able to like budget towards getting music promoted on Spotify, forming relationships with these actual platforms, that they're being pushed in the money. I don't know, but I would agree. It does kind of seem like it takes more effort to find music that's actually thoughtful, versus we got, Spotify with like best new artists being promoted, and it's like they're not good. It's just not being pushed to where we can be spoon-fed that information. We definitely have to do more work to find it. Short songs as a trend should be left in Pink Panther's files. I'm so tired of the concept of songs being under 3 minutes and practically becoming mini ads. It's revolting that we no longer get proper bridges in songs over 4 minutes at the very least.
A song doesn't need to be longer than 2 minutes 30, in my opinion. We don't need to repeat a verse. We don't need to have a bridge. We don't need it. We don't need a long outro.
Honestly, Miss Pink Panthers had me appalled with that. I was so disappointed because I'm like, she got so much attention for that comment. Even Dionne Warwick was like, girl, what are you talking about? That's so embarrassing. Like a legend, like a... That's so embarrassing. But to be fair, she does make short songs and she's standing on it. Like, artistically, everyone can make their own choices. I just don't want that to be a normalized choice. I think it works for some artists. I even think it works for an artist like her. But I just don't want that to be something that is the status quo. We're getting there though. You know me, I'm a proponent for bridges. Like, we need bridges. I say it as many times as I can. Bring back bridges. It takes the song to another place. I think you can explore something musically there, and it's missing, especially in like R&B. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how in an R&B song you don't have a bridge. That should be illegal. And last but not least, for today, someone said that singers need to stop writing their own music. And they said, let me clarify, because that just sounded crazy, right? Record scratch. The expectation that a singer should be the main/only writer on a song needs to stop. I've not seen one artist who wrote majority of all their music not become almost a caricature of themselves, or at least become stagnant lyrically. I believe Mariah Carey became stagnant in the early 2000s, but eventually broke free from her stereotypical sound. Taylor Swift and Katy Perry have not yet, and their creativity has flatlined. Ariana Grande's last album was her worst album lyrically, and Normani's last 2 songs lacked overall production, including lyrically. So I love this comment because you really made me think. Again, I did a video regarding vocals versus songwriters, and I said this, and I stand by it. I don't need my vocalist to write everything. But I agree that people wanting their artists to do it all can stifle creativity. It can make the music flatline. It can make the music worse and cause the artist to not produce their best work, right? The Tyler Perry syndrome. You got one person in the room writing, singing, producing, doing the whole damn thing. It's bound to fall flat. For example, Mariah Carey, The Emancipation of Mimi was where she found and rebranded her sound extremely successfully. And I agree with you. I think she broke out of that because when you start doing your own thing and you do the same thing over and over, it's not that it's bad, but it's just, you're not going to be around for long. And as for the Ariana thing, we just talked about it in the first opinion. I don't think that was her worst album, though. I actually think her lyricism was probably the most, to me, thought-provoking as an overall project, okay, with some of her songs. I think that she was telling more of a story versus vibes. So I don't fully agree with that, and I do think every artist, especially the greats, should have an album where they really are taking a whack at their creativity lyrically, vocally, sonically. So if it's not always like a home run, that's okay. I appreciate the try, but I don't think that this is like a call for someone like Ariana. Like, you have to write every one of your songs and write every freaking album cut and everything from now on. I don't think that. So I do kind of agree with this. So guys, that was my first unpopular, reacting to your unpopular music opinions. So I will be going under that post and responding to you guys and interacting more because I did want to wait until I had a video done. Like, comment down below, what opinions did you agree with? What do you think was a little off base, a little kooky, a little crazy? Hit that subscribe button down below to see more content like this. Again, keep an eye out for my Patreon, which is dropping soon. I think you guys are going to love it. We're going to take everything a step further. We're going to take it beyond, above and beyond, and I'm very excited to do that. And thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Click the link in my description to use my code and get 55% off your first month subscription with Scentbird. You will not regret it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.